Picture this: a bustling medieval marketplace, gold coins clinking, merchants shouting prices, empires rising through wealth and collapsing through greed. Now jump to today: digital money, inflation shocks, billion-dollar scandals, and the world asking one terrifying question: why? Does our financial system feel like it's cracking? What if the answer was written 900 years ago by a man most people never think of when discussing economics? A man who believed that money without morality becomes poison, and that every coin holds a secret that can either build a civilization or destroy it. His name was Al-Ghazali, and his message hits harder today than it did in his own time. But here's the twist: he wasn't an economist, not a banker, not a trader. He was something far more dangerous to corruption: a thinker who understood the human soul. As you'll discover in this video, Ghazali didn't just explain how money works, he revealed why it fails, and why societies fall apart when wealth loses its ethical compass. And the deeper you go into his ideas, the more unsettling the truth becomes, because his warnings match the exact crises we face today. So stay with me, because once you see what Al-Ghazali uncovered about the greed, trust, and the psychology of wealth, you'll never look at money the same way again, and you might even start to wonder, are we repeating the same mistake that destroyed entire civilizations before us? In the world, Al-Ghazali was born into empires glittered with wealth. Yet beneath the gold, something rotten was spreading it. Quiet moral decay no one dared to name. Markets boomed, scholars debated, rulers expanded. But trust, the invisible glue of society, was thinning. Ghazali watched people chase money faster than meaning, and he sensed a storm forming long before anyone else. What frightened him wasn't poverty, it was prosperity without purpose. And as he looked around, he began asking a question that would redefine economics forever. What keeps a society alive, the coins in its pockets or the values in its heart? His answer would shake the foundations of his age. Ghazali believed that money wasn't real, not in the way people assumed. It wasn't gold, silver, metal, or paper. Money, he argued, was trust made visible. And if trust dies, the entire system collapses like a house of sand. That idea sounds simple until you realize how fragile trust actually is. One corrupt merchant, one dishonest ruler, one broken promise, and suddenly markets freeze, prices surge, and chaos spreads. Ghazali warned that society depends on something more delicate than mathematics: moral behavior. And here is where it gets uncomfortable. He believed the first cracks in an economy always appear inside people, not in coins or markets. A warning we still ignore. While many praised wealth, Ghazali stared directly at its dark side, and he saw greed slowly mutating into a social disease. He wrote that greed blinds the mind, hardens the heart, and eventually turns entire cities into battlegrounds of deception. This wasn't philosophy for him. It was diagnosis. He saw rulers hoarding treasure, traders manipulating scales, ordinary people lying for a single coin, and he realized something terrifying. Greed doesn't just corrupt individuals, it infects systems. Once greed takes root, justice weakens, inequality widens, and civilizations begin to suffocate. What Ghazali didn't know was that his warning would echo perfectly into the world of modern banks, corporations, and finance. To Ghazali, the marketplace was not merely a place to earn, it was a battlefield for the soul. Every transaction became a test of character, every deal a reflection of one's inner world. He praised honest merchants so highly that he placed them with the prophets on the day of judgment, honor greater than kings or scholars. Why? Because in commerce, temptations never sleep. Fraud, deception, exploitation, they lurk in every corner. Ghazali believed that an economy thrives not when traders are clever, but when they are ethical. But he also warned that once dishonesty becomes normal, it doesn't stop, it spreads like wildfire through every institution. Sound familiar? Ghazali refused to accept the idea that wealth was meant to be piled up like hidden treasure. He believed wealth must move, circulate, and uplift communities. else it becomes spiritually toxic. Money locked away is like blood that stops flowing. T-Body Diaz. He wrote that generosity strengthens societies more than any army, that charity cools the fires of inequality, and that hoarding turns the heart into a prison. But here's the twist. He didn't condemn wealth. He condemned obsession. To him, wealth was a tool that revealed who you truly were. If you used it wisely, it elevated you. Misused, it consumed you from within. Ghazali was centuries ahead of psychology when he explained how money manipulates the human mind. He described how wealth promises security, but often breeds anxiety. How it gives pleasure, but silently erodes empathy. How it creates status, but deepens spiritual emptiness. He saw people chasing fortune like thirsty men. Chasing a mirage every step closer made them feel further away. And the more they acquired, the more fearful they became of losing it. Ghazali argued that the true danger of money isn't in owning it, but in letting it own you. A warning modern societies still struggle to understand as debt, stress, and material pressure skyrocket. As Ghazali observed corruption spreading through his world, he realized something chilling. Economic collapse begins long before numbers change. It begins when moral lines blur, when cheating becomes normal, when injustice becomes convenient. He wrote that societies crumble from the inside out, and by the time the markets show cracks, the soul of the civilization is already wounded. Look at today's headlines: market crashes, inflation waves, corporate scandals, financial crimes. Ghazali would simply say, "I warned you," because behind every economic disaster lies a moral failure we refuse to confront. And until values return, balance cannot. So we do, Al-Ghazali, still matter in a world of crypto, digital banks, and trillion-dollar markets, because he understood a truth that technology can never erase. Money is a moral choice disguised as a financial tool. His writings remind us that every society that forgets ethics eventually pays a price far higher than inflation or recession. It pays with its stability, trust, and identity. Ghazali believed the future belongs to civilizations that unite wealth with wisdom, success with sincerity, profit with principles. And as we face modern financial turmoil, his voice rises again, asking the same haunting question it asked centuries ago. Are we building our economy on trust or on sand? As we close this journey into Al-Ghazali's mind, remember this. He wasn't warning us about money itself. He was warning us about what money exposes. It reveals our intentions, our weaknesses, our loyalties, our ethics. And every society that treated wealth as power instead of responsibility eventually watched its foundations crack. Today, we stand at the same crossroads he described centuries ago, surrounded by rising greed, collapsing trust, and systems built on fragile promises. But Ghazali's message still offers a lifeline. Rebuild morality, and the economy will heal itself. Ignore it, and the same fate that swallowed past civilizations may quietly be forming around us. So as you walk away from this video, ask yourself one unsettling question. Are we using money to build a better world, or is money slowly rebuilding us into something worse?